Perfect. Hey everyone! So I'm finally back with another video, and for this I will be doing my nails. So I'm doing some square nails today, and I'm using Nail House's Tapered Square 3XL nail tips, Young Nails Speed Clear. These two glow acrylics from Vanessa Nails. The blue one is called Bright Skies, and the yellow one is called Lemon Pop. And then I will also be using these glitters. They're the OMG glitters from Not Polished. This blue one is called Sparks Fly, and the green one is Money Honey. And also I will be using V Beauty Pure's Victoria's Collection number 6. And my brush is a size 12 from A Galore Co. But I don't think she sells this particular size anymore because I never see it. But I still will leave a link to whatever sizes are available. And I will also leave links to everything else that is available as well. So don't forget to check out the description box. Okay, so starting off, I wanted to do an marble ombre. So the way that I'm doing it this time is sort of how I always do it. So I pick up each bead individually and I use them a little bit wetter than I usually do. Then I lightly swirl, but I didn't swirl too much this time like I usually do it. And I also kind of pat in place, and I'm also just letting the acrylic fall wherever it wants to go, like in the design that it wants to go in, because usually I kind of swirl the two colors together a lot and it creates that swirly marble look, but I didn't do that this time and I actually like it. So that's how I did this nail. And also I do, for this one, I do bring the color up more to where the tip and my natural nail meet as well. I just didn't start there for some reason on this nail, but I do bring the color up more. And I will be doing this design on my middle and pinky as well, and then of course I left the thumb out for some other content. Ooh, excuse me, I'm sorry y'all if you heard that. So yeah, that's just how I'm doing it. As you can see, I'm keep wiping the sides because the acrylic is spreading to the sides, and you don't want the sides of the girl, slow down. You don't want the sides of the nail to get super bulky, because then you'll have to file it away, and then you might end up filing away some of the acrylic. So just kind of like wipe the sides to keep it clean, and also help keep the shape of the nail as well. So yes, and also check underneath the nail, because since the acrylic is a lot more wet than usual, it's kind of running and dripping everywhere, and just want to make sure acrylic doesn't dry underneath the nail. Otherwise you will have to go back and file it away. So yeah, that is what I'm doing on this part for these few nails. So yes, it's been a few weeks since I put my last video up. I'm still trying to get back in the groove of doing nails. Just that ever since I moved, time just feels a lot different. Like, I feel like there's always something for me to do when I get home. Even though there really isn't. Like, I'm all moved in and things are organized, and for the most part the way that I want them to be. But I don't know, it's just something about the time I get home and I just want to sit down and relax. I don't know, but I I don't know what it is, but I need to get back because I kind of miss doing nails regularly because sometimes I would do them like 1 or 2 days throughout the week, but mostly on weekends. But ever since I've moved, I'm doing this set that you're watching now, and then the previous set that I had on, which was my last video, which was those flower French tip, encapsulated flower French tip nails. So yeah, I don't know. I miss creating. I also had a client come by, a returning client. Yay for that. And I did her nails as well. They came out so cute. They were so pretty. I did a freestyle on her because that's what she likes. But this particular set, I toned it down a little bit from what she is used to. She still liked them, but they were just a little toned down because she likes her nails to be bright. She likes bright colors and she likes her nails to be like super extra, and she loves them super long like what I have on in this video, and even longer than that. So yeah, that's but yeah, those nails, they were still pretty. I think they were so pretty. I loved them. And yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and thus this is the third time I'm doing nails since I have moved. But I'm trying to get back into the groove and let my motivation and creativity be flowing and stuff. So yeah, I do want to get back into it. Okay, so now moving on to the next step, I am starting with the glitter nail, and this is on the ring finger, and this too will be an ombre because I'm using two colors. So I started with the green on the bottom of the nail, and because this is a chunky glitter, I'm working in smaller beads, and so where the two colors are going to meet, I'm being sure to blend out the color so that it's not lumpy, and it will be easier for the second color to go on top of it, if that makes sense. Because again, this is a chunkier glitter. So yes, and also too, it would kind of help if the previous color you put down is a little bit dry, so that way it's not moving around when you put the second color on top. But I managed to make it work. And so yeah, and then I did end up bringing the blue down a little more over the green because I put a little bit too much green, and I wanted there to be about equal amounts of each color. So this nail was so pretty. Like, I loved how the glitters went together. Like, and so for some reason, for this particular set, I was feeling the blue, greeny, yellow vibe because I did use yellow for the marble nail, but you know, when you mix blue and green together, I mean blue and yellow together, they turn kind of green, so it looks more green. And I feel like a lot of the times neon yellow looks more, it leans a little more green anyway, so the yellow kind of went away and it looks more of like a blue-green set. So yeah, that's all right. These nails are still cute though. I still love them. So for the next step, I am creating the ombre using the V Beauty Pure Victoria's Collection number 6, which is one of my favorite nudes for myself, and just period, like, ever. And this is probably like my third jar of this color, so you know that says a lot when you be going through these colors like that. So, but yes, so I'm just creating the ombre and also filling in the rest of the nail, and I'm bringing down as much as I want the ombre to go, which I didn't want it to be a lot, just kind of like covering up where the two colors meet mostly. So that's another thing I didn't mention earlier. Wherever you start the colors, make sure that that is kind of blended out and not super thick and chunky, so that way when you come in with the ombre, you're not having to add a ton of acrylic and it ends up being like a huge lump or something. So yes, don't forget to do that. So I'm going to leave you and let you finish watching me create these ombres for this part of the nails. Okay, so here's what my nails look like after I encapsulated them. And here I am starting on the design. I left out encapsulation and the filing part. I decided to make a separate video showing how I file my nails. So be on the lookout for that. And now I am adding some top coat. This is Nail House's shiny top coat. I did have a different design in mind. Like I was going to use black and do like the little cheetah zebra design on there, but I tried it out and I wasn't liking how that looked, and so I just took it off and we're going in a different direction. So I want to add some texture to the design, and that is why I am top coating now, so I can do the design on top of that and then, you know, pour like the acrylic on top and be done with it. So for this, I am using Madame Glam's gel paint in vivid green. That's what that said, right? Yeah. And this brush I'm using is from Nail House, and it is their 20mm brush. And I'm just going to be drawing some zebra print like diagonally on my nail and not on the whole nail, just filling up most of the colored acrylic part. And I do apologize for being out of frame. I was paying attention to that while I was doing my nails, so when I would notice that I was out, I would bring my hand back in the frame and stuff. So just to cause you know that's my thing, that's my thing, is always ending up out of frame. So yes. And then also too, I thought it would be cool to pour some glow in the dark acrylic on top of the zebra print so that could glow too. And I also felt like black would be too harsh. It probably would have looked nice, but I was like, black might be too harsh, so I'm gonna just keep it within the color scheme of the nails. And so I went with the green because, again, the nails look like they're green and blue instead of yellow and green. But that's okay though, that's okay. I still love the nails. They're still beautiful and fabulous. And so by the time that I am recording this voiceover, it has been a week since I have done these nails. And by the time this video gets to YouTube, it still be like a week and a day or two. So yeah, y'all, I don't know, I be recording these videos and then it take me a minute to get to editing them. Woo chile. It be a lot sometimes. But yes, as you can see, I drew the design on, then I poured the acrylic on top, shake it off a little bit, and then I cured it in the light. And I only did one finger at a time because I wanted to see what it would look like and if I would like it. And if I didn't, I would just take it off before I committed to all the fingers. But I did like it and I kept going. But I still did one finger at a time because I could be a little clumsy and I didn't want to mess up any of my fingers. And then have to like redo something. So I just did one finger at a time. But if you're okay with it, you can do multiple fingers because this is a gel paint, which is thicker than a gel polish, so it doesn't run like a gel polish would, like run or spread like a gel polish would. So it's a little easier to do multiple nails with a gel paint versus a gel polish. But again, I didn't want to chance me smudging one of my nails, especially because this day I was getting like hand cramps in my hand if I held it in a certain way for too long. Like, I had got a bad one when I was applying the acrylic to my nails. I was like, it hurts. And I had to like stop and pause for a second. So yes. So yes, just draw the design on. And again, this is just some zebra print, and this is how I like to do my zebra print. And then before curing the gel, pour on some acrylic. You can use clear, but I decided to use a colored acrylic that matches because, again, I wanted this part to glow as well, so I did use a glow acrylic. And then cure for 60 seconds after you pour all of the acrylic on. And when you do pour the acrylic on, make sure you cover all of the wet gel, because if you don't and you cure, you're gonna have to go over it, and that could cause the design to look a little wonky. So just be sure to pour enough acrylic. Like, you could pour some, shake it off, pour some more if you need to before you cure. Just make sure you cover all of the wet gel before curing. Okay, so now we're back on the middle nail, and I'm doing an acrylic flower. I was going to use some gel. I tried it. It wasn't working out, and I didn't feel like fighting with the gel. Sitting here trying a million times, so I'm like, I'm gonna just go back to what I know is going to work for me. So, and that is acrylic, and this acrylic is Milky White from Not Polished, and then this is just a 3D brush that I got from I think I got this brush from my local nail supply store, but there's one that I have that says pure color on it, and it looks just like this, and I love that brush, but this one works just fine. And you can also get it on Amazon. So again, I will leave links to whatever I can down below in the description box, so don't forget to check that out. And this is just going to be a 5-petal flower. So when doing the 3D with acrylic, you go ahead and you pick up your bead, and I like to let it sit on the brush for a little bit to help it polymerize before I place it on the nail, because when doing 3D acrylic, you want it to be a little more dry so it's easier to mold, but you also don't want it to be like super dry, so you might have to play with it while you're doing it just so you can learn and get the consistency that you're used to using. And to help it dry a little faster, you can also add just a little bit of acetone to your monomer, but only do that when you are doing the 3D designs. Don't do it while you're applying acrylic regularly. So yes, but I didn't do that this time because I forgot. It just wasn't in my mind to do that. And this isn't necessarily a super slow drying acrylic either. So yeah. And then, like I said, this is Milky White, and I didn't want the flower to be like super white, so that's why I chose this. And then this is the shape of the petals that I am doing, which came out so nice. Like, I'm proud of myself because I don't usually do petals like this when I do the 5-petal flower. I usually keep them rounded, but this was the type of flower I was going to do with the gel, but that didn't work out. So yeah, and then after I did the white, I took some of the yellow, the neon yellow acrylic, which is Kindness from Not Polished, and I took just a tiny bit of that, and I put it at the base of the flower petals and brushed it up towards the tip just so it could kind of have that extra color in the middle. Wait, did I use yellow? No, you know what? I think I used green. I had out yellow, but I ended up using a green, which is called Hotline Bling from Not Polished. And that's what I did. And then afterwards, I took a crystal and put it in the middle, and I put some little gold beads around that. And I also, yeah, that's it. That will be it for that flower. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I'm jumbling over my words, so I'm going to pause and let you finish watching this part, and I'll be back later. Alrighty, so now I'm going to be adding bling to the rest of the nails, and I'm using the Macart Rhinestone Gel, and this nail is the ring finger, and it's just going to be a bling design going down the center of the nail, using a couple of round flatbacks and some shapes as well. Yes, and I do place the gel, put on my crystals where I want them to be, and then I do flash cure because, again, this is gel, so things will move around a little bit, and just to keep them in place, flash curing is the best. And I use this little flashlight that I got, and then for, let's see, for the other nails, the index and the pinky, I did some cuticle bling. And I did want to add some bling around the cuticle to the flower nail, but I was like, that might be a bit much, which now that I think about it, it probably wouldn't have been, and it would have been super cute just like that. But I didn't do that, and I just left it how it was because I did want the zebra and the flower to be the attention grabber on that particular nail, so I just kind of left it out. And the nails still came out super cute in 2 ways. So, yes, I loved them. And after I did all the bling and stuff, I did give a full 60-second cure in my big light. Don't just leave it flash cured, because that means the gel isn't all the way cured, and you never want to leave gel not fully cured on your nails, because it can cause some types of reactions, and also it's not fully cured, so that means your things will pop off easier as well. So again, I gave it a full 60-second cure. And also to y'all, I knew that I wanted to put bling on here, I just didn't know how I wanted to do it on these fingers. So to help it stick better, I did take my hand file and file around the cuticle area on my index and pinky finger. And then I also took after I cured it, I took a little bit of top coat just around the crystals, just to give it that extra security to make sure that they won't pop off. So yeah, that's what I did, because usually I add all my bling and stuff before I top coat, and I did go and top coat the ring finger after I added all the bling, but I don't think I left that in the video. I don't know, but I used like one of my liner brushes and just went around all of the crystals on that finger and gave it a 60-second cure. And then that is it for these nails. So I love how they came out. They look so cute. I'm so happy with them. I love the colors. I love the glow. I love the flower. Like, I especially love the flower. I did so good with that. So thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And you can follow me on my socials, Instagram and TikTok. They're the Nail Glow Up. I'll leave them linked down below. And don't forget to check for links to any products you would like to see and check out for yourself. And yeah, once again, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, peace out, y'all.